Nathan Walker had one of the most interesting journeys to the NHL. He was born in Cardiff, Wales, but his family moved to Australia when he was 2 years old. Ice hockey isn't considered a high profile sport in Australia. As a matter of fact, there are only about 20 ice rinks in the entire country. A young Nathan Walker and his brother visited an ice skating rink one day. They enjoyed it and decided to try playing hockey. They were also inspired by the Mighty Ducks movie franchise, which was super popular at the time. He started playing hockey at age 6, and by the time that he was 13, his natural ability was evident. At this point, he started traveling internationally for tournaments. In 2007, his hockey team traveled to a tournament in the Czech Republic. While he was on the ice, one of the Czech coaches was talking to one of his Australian coaches, and he pointed out Nathan Walker and said, "Who is that? What is his story?" They got to talking a little bit, and kind of in passing, the Czech coach said, "Man, I'd love to have him on my team." The more this conversation progressed, the more they both realized that they needed to make this a reality, because Nathan Walker would have a better opportunity to develop and potentially become a professional hockey player if he stayed in the Czech Republic. Difference was, if he stayed in Australia, he would get ice time 1, maybe 2 times a week. Versus if he was playing on a team in the Czech Republic, he was going to be on the ice twice a day. That conversation is what led 13-year-old Nathan Walker to call his mom at an away tournament and beg her to stay in a different country. And she said yes. She did, of course, come over to the Czech Republic, meet his billet family, see the team he was going to be playing with, and ensure that it was a safe environment for her son. The change in scenery, going from sunny beaches to a much colder middle of Europe, was a bit of a shock. It was a challenge for him that his billet family and, of course, a lot of his teammates didn't speak English. But he had a super supportive network of friends and family who were cheering him on as he was pursuing his dream. He played in the Czech Republic for 5 years before moving to the United States and joining a team in the USHL. Ultimately, all of the sacrifice paid off, because in 2014, Nathan Walker was drafted by the Washington Capitals, making him the first Australian hockey player to ever make the NHL draft. He spent 4 seasons in the American Hockey League before finally making his NHL debut in October of 2017. 1 month later, the Washington Capitals would place him on waivers. He would be claimed by the Edmonton Oilers and play 2 games with that franchise before being placed on waivers again and claimed by the Washington Capitals. In July of 2019, he signed a 2-way contract with the St. Louis Blues. Nathan Walker is currently playing in his 7th season with the Blues. Growing the game of ice hockey in a country like Australia is an uphill battle because of the weather, the cost of maintaining rinks, and a variety of other variables. But this is something that is important to Nathan Walker. He says that he's seen some growth between the AIHL and interest in the NHL. In 2023, the NHL actually hosted a global series game between the Arizona Coyotes and the LA Kings in Melbourne, Australia. Nathan Walker was the first Australian player to play professional hockey in Europe. He was the first Australian hockey player to play in the NHL, and I have no doubt that his career in hockey has helped bring attention to the game all over his home country of Australia. Is there another player with an interesting story that needs to be told? Drop their name in the comments and follow along to learn more.